Guys, what's going on? How y'all doing? Hey, saw the film a couple of days ago. Great work. I think it's probably, in my estimation, your strongest work since Training Day. Mr. Snipes, good to see you doing non-straight to DVD films again. Happy to see you back, man.
Good thanks.
Now, question for you. The role in this film closely parallels a role that folks will be a little familiar with in the past. When you read the script, what did you think about that role? And did you think that by taking it, that it would make that kind of connection for folks?
Absolutely. Yeah, I didn't want to do a Nino Brown too. I didn't want to project the image of another brother who's a drug dealer. And he explained, no, that's not the direction we want to go in. We want to show the arc of this guy's life. We want to show him mature. We want him to show that he's realized that that drug game and that hustle game is a dead-end street. And he wants a better life. He wants something, there's a bigger future out there. There's other options for him. Explaining it to me that way, telling me about the cast, I was on the corner.
Now, Antoine, for you, this is I call it your police. I'm not sure exactly what it is, police brutality or whatever police series of films. Right. Training Day. Is there a third film, or do you want to kind of wrap this up, or you want to just kind of leave the genre where it is?
I don't know. You know what I mean? If something speaks to me, if something comes across, I didn't think I would do another cop movie after Training Day. You know what I mean? Because I don't look at them as police movies or cop movies. It's so much about the characters, individuals, what they're going through emotionally and spiritually, financially, all the pressures of life and choices people make. I like movies about men under pressure. You know what I mean? I mean, the Wild Bunch and those type of movies are always about that. Choices you got to make. Do you go back to get your friend or not? And if you do, what's the consequences of that? I just love those movies. I grew up with that. Scarface from the 40s,
Absolutely. Public
Enemy. So I'll never say never.
Right. All right. Well, I'm looking for one more, man. You got to tie that whole thing into a bow.
Yeah.
Now, Wesley, for you though, here's the issue. I mean, there's a lot of buzz about this film out in the streets, and a lot of that buzz is about you because people haven't seen you, and a lot of people forget. You used to be kind of hot with stuff coming off the top of it in the '90s, man. You was a special brother.
Three films a year.
Yeah.
Wow. We'll get back to that. I'm still in condition. I'm still in shape to do that. And some of the films that I was doing during what we call this hiatus were actually films that were being screened in other countries. Right. And I was doing work with other actors from other countries. So it helped to broaden my fan base. And it also broadened me and expand my artistic skills as well. So now, doing the comeback feature films, big theatrical, hopefully we'll have larger ticket sales because I have a wider fan base now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's always a method to the madness.
Now, Antoine, in the film, you've got the four central characters who, as I was watching it, I had a smile on my face because it looked as if the timing was perfect, that all four of these characters had played these roles in the past. We already talked about Wesley. With Ethan, people would associate him from Training Day. Right. They would associate Don Cheadle, who did Traitor a couple of years ago. Right. So was that something that you kind of thought about, or is it one of those kind of happy accidents that just sort of happened with the casting of the film?
A little bit of both. I thought about it with Wesley, with Kaz. And I thought about the Nino Brown. I said, if he would have lived and went to jail, because he's an intelligent cat. Wesley's an intelligent man. He's sympathetic. What kind of man would he be when he came out, when he realized the truth of the game? Ethan Hawke, as Jake in Training Day, made it home with his morals intact. 9 years later, after being on the police force and seeing things aren't so, so sweet, so nice, it's not that simple, what kind of man would he be? Now he's got a family and a wife pregnant with 2 on the way, and he's not making any more money than he was when he was Jake. So those 2 characters certainly, but I didn't think about Traitor. In fact, I didn't know about Traitor. Don told me, because he had a hesitation to do the role at first because of Traitor. And he said, I just did this movie called Traitor, you gotta see it. And he said, let me know after you see it what you think. And then I went to see it, and I said, totally different. It's a different character, it's a different spiritual journey. This is about friendship. Real friendship, blood, the streets, that code. So he understood that, obviously. And with Ethan, he called me and said, I want to do it. I want to play this role. So that's kind of how that came around. Richard Gere, to me, is the reason Richard's in this movie. He was great in Internal Affairs. But Richard Gere, to me, is the perfect icon of an American man, got it all together, suited, booted, handsome, all that good stuff, completely fucked up inside. Completely torn, empty. Very little of him left. The reason I ended the movie on his face, eyes swollen, bloody, beat up, is because that's how I see this country right now. That's how I see the police department. You know, the Statue of Liberty, you lift up that robe, you're gonna see some ugly marks. So that's why I wanted Richard in this movie. That's why I ended it on his face. That's the statement. If we don't do something about it, you know, it's just gonna get uglier.
Life can imitate art. Huh?
Absolutely.
Go ahead. You know.
Now, Wesley, for you, I'm almost, from a personal interest, wanting to see you climb back up that mountain again. And I see this film as kind of one step going toward that. What do you have coming up, man, that's going to kind of position you for the folks to kind of to see not just the action Wesley, but the dramatic Wesley, the Wesley who does comedies? I mean, brother, you kind of like a triple threat, man. I mean, I need the public to see that again.
Right, right. It's coming. It's coming. We have a dramatic piece that we want to do called These City Walls. Cold, cold, cold character, cold script. Very heavy, heavy drama. I'm actually preparing right now something titled Master Daddy, which is a martial arts comedy. So that way I can do the comedy and the martial arts at the same time.
Right.
And I'm also now working on graphic animation, and we're putting out a piece titled Omandi Mek 5, which is a cinematographic web series based in a unified continental Africa. So it's like a Star Wars and a Transformer put together. You know, we start off as a graphic novel and graphic web series, and then we'll advance and scale it up to a full feature down the road. So we'll get back in little blades and little swords and stuff like that later on.
Cool.
Keep it
Now for you, you've actually worked now with both Wesley and Denzel. The only guy you really missing, man, out of that big three is Lawrence Fishburne, man. At some point, are you going to ever cast Fish, man, and put him in one of your films?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if Wesley would have said no, that's who I was going to. You know, so he's great. I mean, listen, man, from Apocalypse Now, I've been watching Lawrence, man. I'm a huge admirer.
Cold bread, early meat.
Yeah, man. You know, he's a great actor, and I mean, I got to work with Wesley, Don, hopefully again, Denzel, and Lawrence. Certainly, I want to work with that cat, man.
Yeah, and Lawrence and I worked on King of New York.
Absolutely,
together.
you did.
Right, so you know.
A very young you.
Yeah, and young Lawrence. Yeah, I was a cop in that. I was a bad cop too. I was a dirty cop.
What is it with you, man?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Now, for both of you guys, for folks who are going in to check out Brooklyn's Finest, what I know for you, you'll give me a message of something that's a little strong, but what's the message that you want folks to take out of the film? Is it an entertaining message? Is it a message about kind of society? What message do you want them to take out of it?
It's both. You know, it's entertainment for sure. You know, to see great actors acting, and I'm just a storyteller. Just enjoy the story, you know, the opera of it. And at the end of the day, also, it's about choices, you know, and the consequences of your choices. And if you make selfish choices, it could be deadly.
The message, I'm back. No. I'm back. No.
Don't call it come back.
You know, I want to commend and compliment this gentleman here, because it's great to see a person of this hue with this level of proficiency at the craft. What you're seeing in this Brooklyn Finest is the cohesion of a lot of talent and years of study and eclectic experiences, honed and polished. What you're looking at is some of America's finest cinema when you see this film, and that's because of him. You know, we got that.